Hello, everyone. In celebration of St. Paul University Quezon City's Diamond Jubilee, welcome to PAULisen. I am Alicia Sobrevinias, your host for today. Have you ever had a call from God to be His servant? To dream of following Christ, the Son of God? Has He ever led you to use your gifts to serve others in need? We have guests who have experienced this. Very interesting, right? So don't go anywhere, and we will be right back after this short break. And we're back, listeners. Our first guest lives her faith without holding anything back. She loves God with her whole heart, and she's here to share her own experiences as well as her own personal relationship with God. She entered the convent on August 15, 2005, and her perpetual profession was on February 2, 2015. Let us all welcome Sister Marie Jonna Rosales, SPC. Good afternoon, Sister
Hello.
Jonna. How are you today
Thank
po?
you for having me.
Of
I'm good.
course.
I'm good. Excited sa mangyayari this afternoon.
Thank you for being with us today po. So, first po, if I may ask, when did you first begin to think God might be calling you to a religious life, and how did He make that call known to you?
First came to hear God's call when I was already working. He came to make me know his initially kasi I was working already in this firm. I'm an accountant by profession. And for some years, parang even if I was already heading the department, okay naman yung mga katrabaho ko, I felt this certain restlessness. So at the time, I did not think that it was about my vocation. Akala ko lang kailangan ko ng career shift. So then I was planning to resign and then take some edu units. I'm planning to shift to the academe. Pero I was led by a friend to talk to a sister. Tapos parang doon ko na umpisahan tingnan na baka nga pwede sa akin ng religious life. Because when I was able to talk to this sister, parang still very young and then yet she gave her life to the Lord and very vibrant, full of potential. So sabi ko, parang maganda yung ganong buhay. So I guess that led me to religious life. Pero syempre hindi pa agad clear na tinatawag ako ni Lord sa maging madre. At that time, I was just willing to try it out. Siguro yung initial way that the Lord was leading me to this vocation was giving me that curiosity. Ano ba talaga yung buhay ng isang madre? Sabi ko, anyway, there's nothing to lose. Well, hindi naman masama yung gagawin ko. And so there, I resigned from work. Napakabilis. I resigned from work June. I came to know this sister July. August of the same year, I entered already the convent. So yung sabi ko, nagulat lahat, but I was telling my family and my friends, just let me try it. Parang kung dito naman ako dinadala ni Lord, might as well start it. Pero kung hindi, then I could start a new chapter kung saan niya ba talaga ako nililid. Kaya yun, mabilis, pero by God's grace, I was able to respond.
That's a good thing po na you have a supportive friends and family po with your profession and vocation po.
Yes, true.
So, have you always been drawn to the idea of a religious life?
Not really. When I was younger, sabi ko dalawa lang yung dream ko. To be a successful businesswoman, kaya I took up accountancy, and to be married to an equally successful businessman. Kailangan mayaman siya. So never did I thought of becoming a sister, although I was blessed to be raised in a Catholic family. Hindi man very pious yung parents ko, but they made sure that we grow up na may takot sa Diyos. We go to Mass every Sunday and then occasionally pray the rosary. And from there, na-develop din yung sarili kong relasyon sa God. But even then, I did not think of becoming a sister. Parang unti-unting nag-unfold yung pagtawag ng Panginoon.
So, to clarify, based on our research, you were a BS accountancy student po from Pangmantasan Lungsod
Sa
ng Maynila
Lungsod
po.
ng Maynila.
And then
Yes,
you
yes.
just yun na nga po yung calling niyo po for the vocation. Thank you so much, Sister Jonna, for your time and for sharing with us your personal experience. So, wait, there's more. We have one more guest, so don't leave just yet, mga ka-people, because we will be right back. We're back, listeners. It is with great pleasure for me to introduce our second guest for today. She is a teacher and a Christian formation coordinator on her current assignment in St. Paul's School, General Natividad, Nueva Ecija. She entered the convent on August 15, 2001, and had her perpetual profession on February 2, 2011. Let us all welcome Sister Ofelia Ga, SPC. Good afternoon, Sister Ofelia. How are you doing today?
Good afternoon, Alicia. I'm great and I'm grateful to be invited here to share some of my experiences.
That's great to hear, sister. So, for our first question, when and how did you realize your vocation?
Actually, I had my inkling that I have a vocation to religious life was when I was in third year college. If I may share the very exact event in my life, I was staying in the corridor overlooking our third floor. I'm also a Polinian, no, in Mindanao, in St. Paul's, Surigao. I was in the corridor overlooking a quadrangle, and then it just popped up in my mind something like, anong gagawin ko sa buhay ko after college? After work? Mag-asawa? Pagkatapos, ano? I was looking deep down in my heart, something that lasts, a relationship that lasts, a life that lasts, a life that is filled with meaning, something that I am not bound by work, I am not bound by money, I am not bound by time in terms of duty hours or off-time duty. And it was there that I also happened to meet the sisters because I'm a Polinian, but because I am not close with the Opolinian sisters. Now, I was close with the sisters in the Mensa Domini. It was there that I journeyed with them. They journeyed with me, and then I happened to meet also Sister Philomena Aragon, who is also an SPC sister, and then it was she who helped me journey my vocation in the SPC congregation. And eventually, I said my yes to the Lord in August of 2001. After my 1 year of graduation, I just worked in 1 year, and then after I entered the convent.
So you, based on the background you gave us, you studied political science po, no?
Yes.
Yes. And
actually, I plan to continue my studies in law. My father asked me to rest for first semester. After I graduated, he asked me to stay for first semester and then enrolled in San Sebastian in my place on the second sem. However, during the first sem, it was this turning event that happened in my life that I did not anymore enrolled. Rather, I took the exam of the sisters to enter the convent. So my father was so sad at that time. But knowing that what my decision, he supported along the way and up until now. And he is also very happy that I responded to what my heart really wants rather than what my ambitions want really that time.
That's great to hear that your father was somehow supportive of your decisions po, no? Despite the yung path na tinake niyo po. So, ayun. To proceed po, you are a teacher of what subject po, if I may ask?
Currently, I'm teaching in the junior high school, religion, and in the senior high school, I'm teaching political science, of course, philo, and understanding culture, society, mahaba kasi yung title, understanding culture, society, and politics. It's all related in my major, actually.
So, as a teacher of religious education, can you share with us the process of how it is like to live and share the word of the Lord?
Well, basically, one of my advocacy in the religion subjects that I handled with, I usually make sure or ask the Lord for the grace, no, that all my students will encounter Christ in my subject, not so much on doctrinal, meaning yung ano lang yung malalaman, but it's an encounter, because I really believe that religion classes should always be an encounter with the heart, an encounter with Christ. So basically, when I teach religion, I make sure that Christ became or will become tangible person to them. It's a person, not so much of the dogma, kung anong dapat matutunan. And I believe that when these are being taught to them, that religion subject is an encounter with Christ, they have a different kind of view in terms of understanding our faith, and not just go by the flow because you're in the Catholic school. So I always see that as an aspect where it is yung point na lagi nilang tinitingnan, that when it's religion time, what is the face of Christ that I will encounter today? Or how do God reveal himself to me in this hour during the classes? So usually, religion is an encounter with Christ for me, para sa kanila.
That's a great answer po. And I believe that most students would understand and be able to be blessed with their daily routines in schools and such po. So for our last question, what's the main message to take away from the Bible? Or if there's one passage in the Bible that you love, what is it and why? So as a religious education teacher, what would you share po?
I think there are so many beautiful gospel messages, gospel verses or phrases, or even simple words that will really capture our experience. But for me, the most special verse that I would like to share to everybody is in Jeremiah 29. In Jeremiah 29, you will read there the word of God saying to each one of us, I know I have a good plan for each one of you. Plan for your welfare, for your good and not for your bad or for your woe. Why? Because it always gives me an encouragement. It gives me a positive view of life. Even in, like, for example, today, where we are in pandemic time, life seems so rough and so tough, and death is like something just our neighbor away, and fear has come into our lives, entered into our lives, and even relationship has been at halt because of our fear towards one another. But with this kind of verse, that of Jeremiah 25, it gives you a hope that the Lord is there. The Lord will provide everything, and the Lord, everything is in God's hand, because God has a plan for each one of us. It's a plan for good, for our welfare, and not for woe or for bad for each one of us. And I hope those who are listening to us will grab their Bible and browse over Jeremiah 29, and you will see the verse there. It's really a very amazing and powerful message for each one of us, that God is with us and he has planned for each one of us. So beautiful plan for each one of us.
Yeah, and that is true po, that the book of Jeremiah is a great message for our listeners today. So I hope our listeners were able to pick that up. And ayan po. So thank you so much, Sister Ofelia. But don't go anywhere po, listeners, because we will be right back after this short break. And we're back with our guests, Sister Jonna and Sister Ofelia. For this segment, we will ask them more about their vocations. First of all, can you explain briefly what a vocation is to someone who isn't familiar with it?
Oh, thank you for asking that, because nowadays people are not really talking about vocation. More will be on the topic of career, how to climb the corporate ladder, pero bihira yung vocation. And I would really like to grab this time to tell more about what vocation is, because merely our fulfillment is not on careers but on vocation. Kaya ano ba tong vocation? If I may quote, there's this one author, I hope I'll pronounce his name correctly, Frederick Buchner. He said that vocation is where your greatest joy meets the world's needs. kung saan ka magaling o kaya yung expertise mo, you are able to use it to help other people. Yun yung vocation. And all of us are called to find such vocation kasi yun yung role natin. That's the very purpose, and that's where, as I have mentioned, we'll find fulfillment. Kaya in a simple term, ano ba tong vocation? It's a call. Saan ka tinatawag? Ano yung isang bagay na magagawa mo while others may find it difficult to do? Ano yung pinaka-contribution mo sa life? And I think we owe it to ourselves to find that vocation, to find that purpose and fulfillment.
As what Sister Jonna said, no? Actually, simple lang yung aking pagka-term doon. Kung saan yung pinaka hatak ng puso mo, yun yung doon ka tinatawag. Why? Bakit sabi ko saan yung hatak ng puso? Saan tumitibok ang puso mo? Kasi doon ka na nagiging masaya. Where your heart is, there you will find joy and fulfillment in life. So vocation technically is not really more, it's more than just doing what we want, but putting our best, our talents to a higher purpose. And this time, this purpose is not only mine, but something higher. How can I put these things in a mission aspect, like ano yung gusto ng Diyos gawin ko? If I am good at singing, what can I do for the Lord? But in terms of vocation to priesthood, to religious life, it's a different. It's a calling that one can only experience it. Vocation, it's a call from the Lord. It's the same thing as calling for married life, sa boyfriend mo, na siya na yung, ay, bakit siya yung nararamdaman ko? So calling also is yun yung nararamdaman ko. A call that only I and God can feel it, can experience it, but this vocation is nurtured and experienced and discerned in prayer, in relationship with the Lord. Kaya siguro, kung ang question is, paano natin pinapakilala ang bokasyon sa mga hindi nakakaalam, nakakakilala, kung ano nga ba ang bokasyon, I think it's the witnessing also of the sisters and the priests. Our presence is a reminder of such vocation, that there is a vocation for higher purpose, not only for career, not only for job, but a vocation in unity with the will of God, unity in the mission of God, na ang aking meron ako, pag-iisahin ko, idadaot palad ko sa kalooban ng Diyos. I think vocation is simply just a relationship with the Lord in a higher purpose and higher mission, uniting myself and that of God for the good of everybody, for the good of our neighbors and those entrusted to our care.
So, next question. What do you think are some of the most misunderstood aspects of religious life?
Yan. Masusungit ang mga sisters. That often people would run away from us kasi ayan na sila sister, at when I don't know kung nadaanan nyo, but usually kami yung panakot sa mga bata, o mag-behave ka, andyan na si sister, ganon. Meron masungit at masungit. But I guess in every organization, community, or family, merong masusungit. So it's not limited to the sisters, and not all sisters are masungit. And then sunod na broken-hearted, kaya nagmadre sila sister. Not also true. May mga ganong storya, pero hindi naman din conclusive na kaya kami nag-sister dahil broken-hearted. So, like anyone else, we are also looking where we are supposed to be as we respond to God's call. Kaya, just like sa marriage or single blessed, it is by choice that sisters are sisters. Hindi lang sila napunta doon kasi wala na silang manliligaw o kaya nga na broken-hearted. Kaya din masusungit sila kasi napaglipasan sila ng panahon. So not really true. Kasi actually, religious vocation is also about falling in love. Yan. At ang pinili namin ay ang greatest spouse of all. Jesus. Kaya that's, I guess, one identity we have as religions. We are the spouse of Christ, and our very role is to become spiritual mothers to people entrusted to our care. Yan. I hope ma-clear yan at ma-erase sa mga isip ng mga tao.
I think one of the most aspect na laging iniisip, no, is boring sa loob ng kumbento. Actually, it's not boring. It's so fun inside the convent. No? There is full of life, full of laughter, and there are full of surprises. So, ang buhay namin sa kumbento, hindi lang kami nagdadasal, hindi lang din kami nagtatrabaho lang, but we also enjoy life. We share life and we share friendship. Kasi isa din sa aspeto na tinitingnan din ng mga tao na maling conception is walang karelasyon sina sister. So si sister lang at sa si sister lang. We also have friends, lay friends. We also relate with other people. We relate with our students, with not only with our coworkers, but we also relate with other people, no? Nakikipagkwentuhan din kami, nakikipagtawanan din kami, nakikipag-joke kami. Kasi madalas, pag sister ang naiisip, hindi pwedeng tumawa, hindi pwedeng mag-misbehave, no? Natatakot kasi andyan si sister. But we also appreciate that kasi in our own din, pag nasa community din kami, we also have little misbehaviors. Pero ang aming mga misbehaviors ay fun for the community, life-giving, we make jokes also. Kaya hindi boring sa loob ng kumbento, no? So I think that's one of the most talaga na laging iniisip nila na boring sa loob ng kumbento.
Ayun po. Before I proceed to that question, nakakatuwa nga po na malaman po na kasi based on my experience, that is what I've been hearing about mga madre po. Pero meeting some of the sisters po, it is parang eye-opening nga po na they are nice, they can have, they have, yung want nila sa mga bagay po. They can be strict about it, but it's understandable naman po. So, yeah.
Meron lang gustong i-bring out sa mga kabataang we deal with, students. If we sometimes come across as strict, it's actually a way to bring out the best on students or people under our care. With love, minsan tough love, pero love pa rin yung bottom line.
Yes, that's true po. Sige po. Proceed po ako dun sa next question. What do you do daily in your vocations? In your vocation?
Sige. Our life is actually a balance, a harmony of work and prayer. Yun din siguro yung kaibahan namin sa social worker. If we will just merely work, or doing some work, parang philanthropic work, parang at walang dasal, we are just merely social workers. Or pero hindi ko minamalit yung social workers, just to give a distinction. Kasi some of our sisters are even licensed social workers. So siguro to give nag-sidetrack a bit, yun din yung blessing being a sister of St. Paul of Chartres. We are able to use our profession not anymore to really climb the corporate ladder, but to use it for the service of the church. Kaya yung iba sa amin, licensed nurses, licensed teacher, doctors, lawyers, yan, social worker, yan. So as I was saying, our life is a balance of work or service and prayer. Kaya yung pagkagising pa lang namin, we wake up early. Sabi nila, bakit? So siguro isa yan sa mga nakaka-discourage sa iba na magigising ng maaga. Pero yung if you know that you are meeting somebody you love, yung motto namin is beat the sun in praising the Lord. Unahan ng pagsikat ng araw sa pagbibigay puri sa Diyos. Kaya first thing in the morning, we really wake up early to praise God. Tapos we have what we call meditation, and then we go to Mass. Tapos, of course, we eat our breakfast. Then we go to our missions of love, or where we are called to serve. And midday, we have what we call noon examen. I hope many will be able to imbibe this spiritual exercise. Sa gitna ng araw, for just 15 minutes, we just sit down and just review the first half of the day. How did I experience the Lord the first half of the day? How was I able to, in a way, displease the Lord the first half of the day? Para sa susunod na kalahating araw, you are able to make amends. Kung meron kang medyo hindi nakasundo, sa hapon, you could say a good word or try to patch things up. And then kung meron namang magagandang blessings sa umaga, then we continue to give thanks and praise to the Lord the rest of the day. So noon examen, I hope you young guys would be able to also do this 15 or 10 minutes, enough na para to just get in touch with God. So yun, tapos since we wake up early, meron kami kahit 30 or an hour of siesta. We call it siesta. An afternoon break where we could recharge, rest sandali, and then go back to the ministry. By 5:30, we have again our set of prayers, rosary, visit the Lord, and then what we call the vespers or evening prayer. Tapos nun, supper, and then the sisters have what we call recreation, our time together to relax, to have fun, and then we end the night with our night prayer or complaint. Tapos, yun, another day na naman. So basically, it's a harmony of prayer and work or service.
To sustain my vocation, I have to pray and beg the Lord. Lord, help me to be faithful every day. Help me to say yes every day, because we really do not know if tomorrow what is being presented to us or what lies ahead of us. But what I do to keep my vocation up until now is to pray and beg the Lord to keep me faithful and to be able to see Him always in my work, in my ministry, in my relationship with my sisters, in my relationship with my students, with my co-teachers, with all the people that I work with, come with, in contact with. I beg the Lord to help me see Him so that I may always find value in the meaning of my vocation.
Napaka-interesting na mga napag-usapan ng ating sisters at talaga nga namang nakakamangha. Thank you, Sister Jonna and Sister Ofelia, for sharing your wisdom and your love for God with us. That's it for today's PAULisen. On behalf of the TV production class and Butter Productions, I would like to thank Sister Marie Jonna Rosales and Sister Ofelia Ga for being with us today. You have reminded us the importance of living with God, to believe in Him, and to always be grateful. Now, don't forget to subscribe to People TV, like and share this video, and click the notification bell to be notified of our next episode. See you next week.